Hey, guys.
Hello.
I'd appreciate if you said that hello with a little less air.
Hi.
Yep.
That was
Let's
2
all
seconds.
hold our breaths.
From what I've heard, that's the worst thing you can do right there.
What? A
Just
big
catch
inhale?
catch an exhale from an infected person.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah,
of
yeah.
droplets. There's a little saliva that could fly.
And that looked like a spitty exhale that Dee
I
just did.
got into a heated conversation in our hallway about an hour ago, and a spit was flying out of my mouth.
Not a good time for that.
I was very angry.
Not a good time for that.
We had to disinfect the entire hallway now.
Oh, my God. Okay, I want to start, speaking of that guy who chimed in, I want to start with some big breaking news.
I mean, as
think
far as group chat goes, it's as big as it gets.
this is major, major breaking news. It's not all the stuff you see on the television,
Worse.
not the celebrities, not the basketball games.
It's worse.
It's way worse.
This is the truest sign that I think I have received so far of how real the coronavirus threat is.
Yes.
I agree.
Pete canceled his trip
To Chicago.
to
I had to.
Chicago.
So I call him into my office and I said, I know you're going on this trip. If you go on this trip and you're around the crowds, like I'm a little concerned you coming back to the office because you just
Yeah, he would have to self-quarantine 14 days.
self-quarantine.
Yep. And for the record, after they canceled the parade, he said, "Fuck it, I'm still going.
Yeah.
My homies got a party out there where everyone who didn't go to the parade is going to this party.
We get lit.
We get lit. I don't give a fuck. I'll go straight to Wuhan right now."
That
I don't know why
bravado, that Wisconsin bravado,
Yeah.
really
Real
is
strong.
faded.
Real strong, Pete.
And I'll actually commend you because it is the mature thing to do,
I agree.
which is actually forego your plans. I mean, it sounds like the city's going to be essentially dead.
Yeah, Ryan Tierney said that he had heard from a friend that the mayor's going to shut down access to bars and other things. So pretty much quarantining.
Yeah. I mean, Irish like to get after it. I'm
I
sure there's
know.
going to be some house parties.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely going to be some
Yeah,
house
it's like
parties.
sharing drinks. It's,
And just
crammed
close to
areas.
each other. Just
Because it's cold, you have to pile into an inside bar.
just breathing all on each other.
Well, I mean, that is as big as the news.
That's as big as it gets. So that's it for today's episode.
Thank you so much for listening.
Everyone have a good weekend and just, it's shit's real. Okay, so there's that. I want to get that out there first. Pete, I want to actually say you did the right thing.
Thanks, man.
I know we make fun of you. I know, we think that you're just ruthlessly tough. But it's good to see you got a little bit of a brain in there,
Yeah.
that knows right from
Just a little
wrong.
bit.
Yeah.
Just a little something.
Thank you, man. So that being said, this weekend you're going out in LA instead.
No, I think not. If I'm going to cancel Chicago, I think I have to stay home.
Got it. Okay.
Unless I get a really good invite, then maybe.
Exactly. So, unless bungalows pop.
Yeah, Bungalow's popping Saturday. I might have to pull up for a second.
Okay, so this is what I want to... We're going to put this episode out right away?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to put this episode out right away because things in Los Angeles, at least, and I think a lot around the country, really got taken to another level yesterday.
Yeah.
So coronavirus, especially us, like we've been talking about it for a while now. Anand's been big on it, big advocate,
Yeah. Big virus guy.
big virus guy, and
Big educator. Why don't we say that?
fair. You know what? I can't even. Unfortunately, I can't.
I've been
really
saying
argue
this
with
for
you
a
right
month.
now. I get it.
I said this would cause a recession
You did.
2 months ago.
You
I
did.
still think it's a bad flu. Anyway, listen. But here's the thing. So we saw it coming for so long. We talked about it for so long. Talked about why the stock market hasn't crashed. Blah 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 blah. We now know what it took. It wasn't actually even the stock market starting to crash that took pure panic to break out.
Mm-hmm.
It was a combination of things. Donald Trump gave a speech. I don't think that was what did it.
Okay.
Tom Hanks, the beloved Tom Hanks, and his wife Rita come down with the illness. I think that people were like, whoa, not Tom.
That, I think, hit hard to our parents.
The boomers.
The boomers were like, oh, shit. Tom Hanks? Tom Hanks, to me, is, a great American. A hero.
Yep. He's such a great guy.
Great guy.
It's like this had to happen to him.
Yeah, like he's just a nice, rich white guy.
Yeah.
That things shouldn't happen. Bad things shouldn't happen to nice, rich white guys.
No, not to Tom.
Rich people thought they were immune to corona until yesterday.
I mean, if you ask me who's one person in the world who could never get coronavirus, I would say Tom Hanks.
I would say
Yes.
Leo.
Leo's kissing a lot.
Yeah, Leo is
A lot of
out
saliva.
here fucking.
Yeah, there's a lot of saliva being exchanged. Okay, so then Tom Hanks gets it. I think the boomers really woke up. I think people were like, "Oh shit," but still didn't quite cause panic. I'll tell you what did it. The NBA canceled the rest of the season indefinitely.
Yeah.
So
People went bananas.
So can I tell you, I was on Twitter during the pregame of the Thunder Jazz game.
Yep.
Which is kind of what was the domino effect. And then there was just like a live broadcast, and I just clicked it and I started watching it, and it was just the most surreal thing. Like, you couldn't even like put it into words. So they're all doing warm-ups. All of a sudden, medical staff comes to the refs, and there's some conversation going on. The players get ushered into the locker room. Twitter's going crazy. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And they said someone was ill. We're taking everyone in the locker room, and the stadium's still filled. And then, like 15 minutes later, announcement goes up. Game's canceled. Get out of the stadium. People are getting ushered out of the stadium.
That happened live on.
That
you
was
saw
like,
it?
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it was just like, I think that was the moment where like everyone was like, oh my God, this is real. So Rudy Gobert, who is a Utah Jazz player, was mocking the virus.
He
last
played
week.
himself.
Yes.
That's the play yourself of the last decade.
Yeah.
So he mocked the virus, touching microphones. Apparently he was really reckless in the locker room, joking about it and touching
Yeah.
everyone's stuff.
Yeah.
That's how John Turgeon was with me at Nice Guy.
Yeah, he's the Rudy of the
He's
friend
Rudy
group.
Gobert, and then just hope you're not Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
Because his teammate, Donovan Mitchell, contracted the virus.
And-
So there's a few things. I just want to peel a few layers back.
Yeah.
So we're in an era or an age of no one can get tested. You hear all these stories of people saying they're showing up to hospitals with all the symptoms and no one's testing them. And how are we supposed to figure out if we have it or not? We don't have the right data. The Utah Jazz have one guy that suspects of corona. They're able to test 58 people within 24 hours immediately
Yeah.
with results.
Yeah.
So all the Thunder got tested, all the Jazz got tested, the reporters that cover the team.
Yeah, you got. I mean, you have that NBA money.
And so Donovan Mitchell, his teammate who's a superstar, he's tested positive, and Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell have both like put out public posts about it.
So here's the biggest thing, I think.
I think we should question that, right? No one can get tested, but 58 random tests get
Well, I mean,
thrown
hey,
into the
that's how the world.
Here's
you know.
part of the problem. We're going to find out a lot of very rich, famous people have it because they're able to get tested.
Right.
Tom Hanks is in a country that's aggressively testing,
Sure.
which is Australia, where he's filming an Elvis Presley movie. Utah Jazz, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, they're millionaires.
Yeah.
They have the best health care anyone can buy, so they're going to get tested. So it's clearly obvious that there is testing if you got money.
Yep.
And this is where it gets very, very scary because unfortunately our president downplayed this until last night when he finally woke up and said, oh, fuck, this
He
is
called it
real.
a hoax 7 days ago.
Yeah.
He called it a hoax.
7 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
At a public rally, he called it a hoax.
And
Democratic hoax at that.
Oh,
And then I think it's now showing a clear lack of judgment on his part because there were all these cuts that have been made on CDC and response teams, and we didn't have the money come in January to even accelerate testing if that was even a strategy. And now you're seeing the fallout from it, which is we don't have tests, we can't get tests fast enough, there's no budget for it, and still the main focus of our government up until today was just injecting cash into the economy. We got to stimulate spending. No one wants to spend money right now. They just don't. They want to make sure that they're healthy, their loved ones are safe. Like those are the things that will ensure confidence in the consumer when all this blows over, is the health and well-being of the citizens.
So I wake up this morning and I don't think I've had more text activity in my life other than potentially Kobe and this.
Yep.
And it's just weird that it's happened within like 1 month of each other.
Yeah.
And there's like so many events that happen. So obviously you have celebrities now getting it. The NBA is indefinitely postponed. We wake up to this morning, Major League Baseball is postponed. NHL's postponed. Major
March
League
Madness.
Soccer's March Madness is canceled. They canceled
All-
the tournament, right?
They
Apparently-
canceled the tournament.
California governor said all gatherings over like 250 people have to be canceled.
Well, New York said 500. Did the California governor say 250?
Yeah, they're canceling like small comedy. Like I saw Joe Rogan put out, my show at the Comedy Store is canceled because we're not allowed to do over 250 people. And even people like in the nightlife world sent it to me last night and said, hey, we're not allowed to do, like they're going to have to close the nightclubs and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the win, I just got a notice from a Kathy in Vegas, loyal Kathy, saying Wynn Resorts canceling all large entertainment gatherings. So Mandalay Bay is closing their pool. Wynn Resorts is closing their pool and nightclubs. They're expecting that for 2 weeks minimum, I mean, based on what we see. And interesting enough, this same Vegas Kathy said hotel occupancy is shit, running between 15 and 35%.
Yeah, if there's no work conferences in Vegas, there's no nightclubs,
Yeah.
there's no pools, why would you go to that town?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a.
I mean, just think about it logically.
Yeah.
15% is high.
Yeah.
It
Okay,
should be
here's my question.
1%.
There's
like
still a lot of
local.
degenerates.
No, there should be a local that's just like, hey, I want to get away and stay at the Aria
Staycation.
for-
Yeah, for sure. You could probably get a beautiful room. Okay, this is my big question that I started to ask you guys before we started recording, but I want to know on the mic instead. During 2008, I was too young to really be paying attention. I don't even really remember like feeling any sort of way. I was broke as shit anyway. Where am I going to go? How does this feel in comparison?
So for me, it feels very different. I will tell you in 2008 when like I remember sitting in the office when Lehman Brothers collapsed, then Bear Stearns collapsed and the market crashing. Then the market was, I think, paused because of the triggers. And the big concern at that point was like the fear level had gotten to you could potentially go to the ATM and there will be no money. Mm-hmm. And I think that fear was insane on consumption, right? Today, we're concerned about our health and our well-being, but we are still consuming, right? And part of that is like that 2008 shock happened like, it was like the plug just got pulled from the world and everyone just freaked out overnight. There's obviously a lot of domino effects that are going to fall in the next couple of weeks with the lack of events and the service industry getting impacted and all these industries, right? But there's, to me, a certain level of predictability given what we saw in China that, yes, it is going to get much worse. I don't think anyone is now doubting that. But there is clearly a pathway to get things back up to normal. Even factories are getting back to work. Things are getting back to normal in China. Yes, they're able to do things we are not. But I think in a matter of time, I don't know how long that time is. It could be 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months. I don't know. I think things will get back to normal. And when that happens, the consumer will be out. People will start spending money again. And there will be habit changes and businesses will change. But that's my view. I remember like, we were just like, oh, it's completely over.
Yep.
Like life is over.
Yeah.
I literally thought we were posting the sign like,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
we're closed.
We'll work
I
for
don't
food.
feel like that right now.
Yeah.
I know my business is going to get hurt. I know things are going to get ugly, but I don't feel like we can't get out of it.
So I would say the difference and the big distinction between 2008 and now is I don't think average people actually grasp the intensity of 2008. Like, I know in hindsight, everyone understands like the financial system was on the brink of collapse. But while we were going through it, there was this mentality, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's going to get figured out. So while the reality was that the financial system was on the brink of collapse and you wouldn't be able to go to your bank and withdraw money, whether you're a billionaire or whether you have $1,000 in your bank account, it's all gone. And breadlines, and there was like scare things going on that said that could potentially be the reality. But I don't think the average person really understood that till afterwards.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is the big distinction because that was just money. Everyone's bank accounts were declining because the stock market was going down significantly.
Yeah.
But this is both. Now you have a health risk and money.
Yeah.
And we're not at the brink of a financial collapse. The banks are healthy. Their companies have trillions of dollars on their balance sheet. So sure, from a company standpoint, most healthy companies are going to be able to withstand this.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no question. So I don't think breadlines are going to be the issue, but quarantine is a real possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning like we might not be able to leave our apartments and homes. Like that is no longer this far-fetched belief. It is happening in Italy. It's happening in Belgium. It's happening in Kuwait. It's happening in Saudi Arabia. It's happening. And so I think the scarier part for me is that we're seeing the future elsewhere, and we're just like a couple weeks behind.
Mm-hmm.
I pray that we don't get there and we're able to contain it. But the reality is like we're not taking the steps.
Yeah.
Like Korea is now testing 20,000 people a day. Last week I said 10,000. The number's
Yeah.
20,000.
Yeah.
We're barely getting 500 people tested a day. And if you're not a Jazz or a Thunder,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
If you're
10% of the tests yesterday were the Jazz and the Thunder.
Yeah, and their
Think about
staff.
that.
Yeah, that's
And
wild.
so here's an interesting. I have an opportunity for Mini Mike to save his legacy. Mini Mike pretty much got laughed out of the presidency.
Yep.
I like where you're going with this.
Mm-hmm.
One of the richest men on earth, privately held company, pay for an entire country's test. What is it going to cost him? $10 billion. He was about to burn it down on an election.
Yeah, if he was the nominee, he probably would have spent 20, 30 billion.
Yeah, to win it. You want to save your entire legacy. Just come out and say, coronavirus test free for every single American. I will pay for it. This is where billionaires need to step the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with the wealth that exists in the United States and the crisis we're in with just testing, forget every American. People testing that have the symptoms
Yeah.
is just shocking. Like this is like, I'm always been the one that kind of says you can't tell the billionaires what to do, but hey, we're actually in an existential crisis.
Yeah.
Like people need to step up.
Yeah, and I
Because
think
the government's not going to have the funds to do it. Between the trillions of dollars we're going to need in stimulus just to keep the economy alive,
Yeah.
we're not going to be able to counter that with the health crisis.
But not only that, we know the government can't move even fast enough, even if it has the
Right.
money. The private sector can move 1,000,000 miles per hour. The people working on vaccines are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week because they're incentivized because of money. The only thing that's going to solve this problem faster in America, if we're not able to quarantine everyone, let's just at least get everyone tested. Let's get everyone the best health care.
yeah, if you have a fever, you're coughing, you have flu-like symptoms, get tested. Then quarantine yourself. You'll probably survive. They just have very high survival rate, but you don't need to be spreading it.
Yeah, I feel like literally everyone should be tested. Because the thing that's so crazy about this one is how much it spreads before you know you have it.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I believe it's the president of Brazil was over here in Mar-a-Lago over the weekend, shook
Yeah.
Trump's hand. He potentially could be
No,
infected.
he tested
Oh, he
positive.
definitely tested positive.
No, it's
did?
a fact. He tested positive.
So,
So Donald Trump has been directly exposed.
Multiple times.
and he's refusing tests. He doesn't understand. I know what he wants. I know why he's avoiding tests. Because that kind of crumbles his theory that it was a hoax and like you can't, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So he has his image he's trying to portray. Unfortunately, by him not getting tested, he's literally putting.
So this is the guy. Look at it's a spokesperson. The president's being tested. The results are in it. Look how close he is to Trump.
Yes, he's right next to him.
Oh, man.
And so the fact that he's not willing to get tested, because if he's clear and free, great. Best news. If he is infected and God forbid something happened to him, we would fall into the abyss.
Yeah.
He doesn't even understand. He's so self-absorbed.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand how important his health is to our country
Yeah.
and to the world. I mean, the president of the United States gets coronavirus and dies?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
If you think about who is the most likely to have been exposed, it is our presidential candidates. Donald Trump,
Yep.
Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden. They're
Yeah.
actively at rallies with thousands of people in their 70s
Yeah.
shaking people's hands from all over the country.
Yeah.
What are the odds they have been exposed? 100%?
It's
99.9?
100%. There's no doubt in my mind. The level.
I believe like we've been exposed just because we live in an internationally like exposed city, meaning like so many people in LA have been traveling for the last 2 months in and out of different countries.
Yeah.
So
And-
speaking of that, during Donald Trump's big speech yesterday, addressing the country, I was nervous because I didn't know what the fuck was coming out of his mouth. So he starts it. It's pretty calm, pretty well said, and then he out of nowhere it installs a travel ban from Europe to America. And apparently this was not discussed with any European leaders. So I think it caught them off guard. And he said, United Kingdom, you guys are fine. Because the moron there, Boris Johnson and him are buddies.
Yeah.
So he's protecting the United Kingdom. Little does Trump know that you could just take a train to London.
drive to UK and can't book a flight.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't even understand
Train, yeah, right.
the thought process in banning all the flights from Europe. I get the idea. If you want to do that, go all the way. Say no flights from anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? So it's very difficult to understand the thought process there. He also did not caveat and say U.S. citizens okay. So it sounded like, because I have friends that live in Europe who were like, holy shit, I got to come home. Because by Friday night, you had to come back. Caused a mad panic. People are just trying to book flights to get out of there. And then it sounded like, oh, U.S. citizens are fine. I think as long as I don't know if they have to get tested or what the deal is, they're able to come back home. So
No, if you're a U.S. citizen, and as long as you're not like throwing up and have a fever and coughing, they're not going to stop you from getting on a flight.
So it's just, even the way that it was presented.
You can't even roll out a proper travel. Why wasn't that in the speech? U.S. citizens are exempt.
Yeah.
Come home orderly. Because now there's stories of people at Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, like getting price gouged, spending $20K to get home, get their family home, because they're paying whatever price to make sure they get on a plane.
Yeah. Well, that's just Trump's style.
So here's the thing. Like, we joke about Trump, and we've joked about Trump since the inception of this podcast. We talk about it in social circles and like laugh about the things he does and says.
Yep.
It's all fun and games till you actually have to solve a real crisis.
Yep.
And now we're all paying the price because he is so self-involved, cares only singularly about himself, not the country, and has acted that way repeatedly. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican. You have Tucker Carlson going on Fox News, the most right-wing conspirator you can possibly find, saying America's not taking the coronavirus seriously.
Yeah.
So he went against the boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
To me, now this is a death sentence for his political career. He will not be reelected president. He has no fucking chance now.
That's what you think?
I honestly think this was mishandled so poorly. I do not see a world where even his most devout supporters can accept the fact that we were not tested early enough.
So here's the issue. Tucker Carlson's on Fox News saying this, but if you look at the rest of Fox News, they're still pushing the propaganda that this is a joke.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, if you step back and see who's canceled stuff, Major League Baseball, NHL, NBA, NCAA. Who hasn't? PGA and NASCAR.
Really?
Because it's a hoax.
So there you go. You still have half the country. Like, those are MAGA sports.
Yep.
The liberal sports are getting canceled.
Yeah.
And the MAGA sports aren't.
Because they're just like, fuck it.
WrestleMania is on.
Oh my God.
I definitely don't want to be in that crowd. That's a disgusting crowd.
So I know what you're saying. Like, it's clear to us this has been. I still think.
But here's the
you
thing
might
is-
not have half the country not believing it. Still, I think it's 35-40% still think this is a complete
Okay,
joke.
so
Yeah,
so that's
for sure.
fine. I think this is going to get people to the polls more than anything else.
Right.
Because anytime, if you looked, I was reading this article about any time in history where there was like a shock in the economy, the incumbent president has lost. And so in oil crisis, stock market collapse, because you lose faith in your leader. Because now the one thing that he had was this very healthy economy and stock market, which is completely derailed. I mean, the stock market just plummets every single day. 10% in one day. Imagine someone who's been working their entire life looking at their retirement account, and they're like, 10% just went down today, 10% went down tomorrow, 10% down. If you keep adding that up, it means it feels like it's going to zero.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to have an impact on people that is going to have it's going to be like 2008. It's going to have a lasting impact on the way people think about the world and live their life, and it'll affect it in November in the election.
And especially if the health issues scale the way people are predicting. Because I'll tell you firsthand from someone who's dealt with serious health issues with our kid, like you would give up all your money to solve the health issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think this is like a combination of your money's down and your health is at risk.
Oh yeah. It's going to be very, very scary in terms of the reaction to this. And I think most people are taking it serious now. The problem is, in a lot of cases, it's a little too late. So there was a rumor going around that New York City was going to be quarantined, National Guard coming. The mayor just came out and said that is not true. That is, everything is still open. We are open for business. But like, shit, it's not a bad way to curtail the spread of the virus.
I was talking to a close friend who's a doctor at a very high-profile university, and basically he was saying the baseline is we have a shortage of beds.
Yeah. I think that area is the scariest part of all of this.
Right.
The hospital overcrowding, lack of, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people are going to have very serious issues or even die, unfortunately, because of that.
Yeah, they're not even going to be able to get the care
because
the beds don't even exist.
Yeah. Okay. Shit. Did you guys hear Coachella's canceled?
So let's just go over the things that are canceled. March Madness for men and women officially canceled. Originally, they were going to play the games without no fans. NBA season is suspended indefinitely with the caveat they said they may come back in the summer. Disneyland officially closed. To me, Disneyland staying even open this long was super reckless.
Completely irresponsible. And I think you were the one that brought it up, that Bob Iger
was like,
he knew.
This.
Yeah, for sure.
He didn't want to deal with this.
For sure he knew. Because now he has to stick around and deal with this.
Yeah.
He wanted to be out in 2021. He's like, fuck it, I'm getting out right now.
Yeah.
I get to, my career ended on a high.
Yeah, as far as we know, Bob Iger's a hero.
Yeah.
And if you mishandle Corona, you become a villain.
Yeah. And imagine you're the new parks guy that just was like, all right, man, fuck it. Like, imagine the meetings. We're like, hey, man, this is way worse than we thought. Bob's out of here. You're going to be the dude. And he's like, all right.
And just like we discussed, like, Disney does so much business in China. When Bob Iger resigned, it was full blown in China.
Yeah.
So the leading indicator was already there.
Yeah. I bet he knew, like, more of the truth in China.
For sure.
That they weren't disclosing. And he was like, nope. That's coming here.
It was an abrupt resigning. It was so, it's so obvious now, I think.
Yep. Okay, this is like no shit. Princess Cruise Lines has canceled all of their voyages for the next 2 months. I just want to go back on record again and say I do agree. I think cruises should be canceled forever.
Yes.
It's over.
I'm sorry, boomers.
Hang it up.
It's
Did you
over.
hear that online they're calling this the boomer remover? Yeah. So fucked up.
As scary as everything is, there's been a lot of great jokes.
I'll tell you what, if you want to get lost in TikTok, now's the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Boomer remover is just unbelievable. It's like a cleansing of old people. Yeah. That's what these kids are peddling.
Yes. On TikTok, they're like, yeah, there they go. So
you guys need the money, you little TikTok shitheads.
Bastards. Princess Cruise Lines is done. Once again, should be done forever. Universal closing. Airbnb bookings, once again, kind of no shit. Airbnb bookings plummeting.
Yes.
You know what else I noticed? No one's on scooters.
Scooters might be a hard rap.
This could be the rap of scooters.
Yeah.
They're just sitting there in lines down the road.
Really?
Because it's
in Hollywood or where?
Everywhere.
Because
even out front of the
they're
office.
not even around here anymore, are they?
Out front of the office, there was just a line of birds, untouched. People aren't even knocking them over anymore. That's how you know it's bad.
They're so scared. They wanted to touch.
That's how you know it's bad.
Think about a habit-changing moment where something like the scooter industry could be completely removed.
Yep.
I also think, I mean, Airbnb has an existential threat.
Yeah.
At these valuations. Like, you have a company that lost $500 million, right?
Yep.
You have now the new norm, at least for the near term. Let's see how long our habits change. Is like cleanliness is important and hygiene's important. Who's going to trust a random Airbnb host that cleaned their place? Who was there before?
Yeah.
Who traveled where? Like, I wouldn't stay at an Airbnb.
Yeah, Hilton sent out an email on how they're handling the cleansing of
yeah.
every room. It gave me comfort. I'm like, you know what? I might stay at a Hilton.
In a hotel, you can ask for double cleanings a day and just tip more.
Yeah.
Triple cleanings, pay more.
Airbnb, you'll be lucky if you can get a hold of the host.
We've been to
you're
some.
screwed.
I mean, there was an Airbnb we went to in South by
Oh
Southwest.
my God.
I couldn't stop sneezing
Because it was cat.
There was cats. Like, I didn't know there were cats. I was like, my eyes were just crying and sneezing the whole
And remember
weekend.
that little cat that died from coronavirus? Those things might be carriers.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's just so wild. I don't know. I've never
It's pretty much every large gathering for the near term is canceled. I mean, if New York's going 500 and if you're saying California 250,
yeah.
that's literally it. I mean, you maybe can go to a restaurant. Maybe.
You got to
Yeah.
go to small boutique restaurants. Nice guy.
Yeah.
Nice guy will thrive.
Yeah, it's a good time to be a small restaurant.
Yeah.
What do you think capacity on Delilah is? 500?
No, I don't think it's that much. It's probably
Over
250.
250?
It's probably literally.
So you just
like-
gotta cap it.
You just got to do 249.
Yeah.
So, Pete, I have a question for you. When did it become real to you as a healthy 23-year-old
Good question.
Wisconsinite? Is it because of the
regards to my
podcast?
canceling?
No, just like I see this. The demeanor's changed in the last 7 days.
You're not so confident.
I was really cocky right away. I'll give you that much.
That white confidence is gone.
My confidence is
We're
out the
all
door.
like
equal under
was it
Corona.
yesterday? Was it 2 days ago? Like, what
There's one
changed?
Tom
I think-
Hanks got it. He's like, fuck that.
You can be honest. We'll make fun
No,
either way.
I know that. No, I think it was just the idea that it's actually like, I think Dee made a point to it too about like if you bring it into people with weaker immune systems or older people, if you bring it around them, like yes, I'm healthy, I'll probably survive it without a doubt. But it's like bringing it around other people and then bringing it back here possibly, or just that type of stuff, like made it serious. And then the closing of everything was like, it's like, oh, this is actually real.
Yeah, I think like I was talking to my wife about like our like in regards to sending our son to preschool or not, and I was like, the upside is very little, the downside is very high.
Yep.
And I think that's how people are viewing these types of decisions. Like NBA, their players got freaking infected.
Yep.
Young, elite athletes
Yeah.
that are in better shape than all the Americans.
Where do you think they're getting infected from? Like, where does Rudy
So
get
they're
infected?
saying in that particular case, there could have been a ref that refereed a game that infected someone else that infected.
Right.
So we don't know the origin of it. But this is the thing. When you're in big crowds, people talk, spit, spill a drink, someone else drinks it. It's just so easy to spread.
And they travel. I know they're flying private, but they're interacting with reporters and like so many people in close contact.
Yeah.
So before this, they said reporters had to stand 6 feet behind. But like, have you ever seen a post game like around like a superstars? 50 people with their
mics.
freaking mics in their hand, and he has his shirt off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you another really bold claim.
Okay.
I think the fate of humanity,
Okay.
common sense, panic, or complete and utter go back to normal
Yeah.
relies on one person. It is Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
If
yeah,
in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
Tom Hanks is seen healthy, fine, posts a video, hey guys, you know, I was coughing, I threw up a little, blah, blah, blah. Here's the symptoms. I feel great. Thanks everyone for the well wishes. Everything's back to normal, I think.
Yeah.
so you know
I
what?
agree.
If Tom Hanks dies, we
over.
are
Oh,
really
fuck. Oh my
fucked.
God.
It's all over.
His percentage
I'm
is
going
much
back to
higher
Wisconsin.
than Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell.
I'm not worried about those two. They're
Well, you know what I wish Donovan Mitchell. So Rudy Gobert actually was showing symptoms, which is what caused the panic.
Yeah.
So Donovan Mitchell was probably dunking like
Yeah.
5 seconds before he got tested.
yeah.
I want him to be like, "Hey guys,
Document
I
it.
actually feel like okay. I know I'm tested positive.
Yeah.
I'll keep you guys posted." Like he'd be a great like
He did.
he
But
he
didn't-
posted like thank you prayers, all that, but he hasn't
I want a
said like
video.
I want a video.
I feel great.
Because here's the thing: is that
we need like Logan Paul to do
I want some
because he won't
vlogging
be able to
content
shut
out of
up.
this.
yeah, he'll be like, oh, I got it.
Yeah, and be like, look
Can
at
you
this,
imagine
blah.
if you watch somebody from when they find out they have coronavirus through
Who's
it,
gonna
and it was a
fake
daily
What
vlog?
influencer's gonna fake contracting corona
Oh,
and
that's
make
a good one.
Yeah.
make a?
I mean,
whole-
that's what
That's
that was
all
my
over
plan.
TikTok. TikTok
Fake
is
coronas?
all people with just masks on, like against a white wall in their house. Like, I'm quarantined, shit's crazy.
Oh,
and
they
like,
want to like brag about being quarantined.
Yes.
But
Just
I want
know
someone
you're
to be like, I got it. A 14-day, like he looks like he's about to die, or he
Yeah.
or she, and then he or she survives,
Yeah.
and becomes a hero.
Those TikTokers are really funny.
Because they're so quick.
They're mistaking quarantine for being poor. That's why
Yeah.
you're stuck in your
or
fucking
just being
house.
a freaking loner. And they're like, I've been quarantined for 18 years. Oh, it's just me and my TikTok. You need an internet personality to get it because they would vlog it. Like
Yeah.
a David Dobrik.
Yeah.
But
You know?
Donovan Mitchell would be a good example because he's super healthy, super
No,
fit.
but
Who?
I'll tell you why he's getting
Donovan Mitchell from the Jazz.
the
like,
reason why is he's getting the best medical attention. A YouTube vlogger is not getting that good medical
Yeah.
attention.
You need an influencer. Because even Tom Hanks, even though he's older, and I would still love to hear from him, he's surrounded by the most elite medical care.
You know, Spielberg
Right.
sent him.
But like the whole studio, whatever studio he's working for that's doing the
Oh, they can't risk
film,
him.
No. So there's no way he's going anywhere. But I would still like to see it. But if I want like a good up and coming influencer to make a vlog series, you could blow up.
Yeah. Amazing.
But I do think that's a key part. I think the fear. I still think that other than elderly people, I think the fear still outmatches what happens to most younger people. But there's no one showing that side of it like whatsoever. Like I would rather even someone be like, "Yo, I feel like pretty shitty on day 12."
The problem is, right at this exact moment while we're talking, there's a stigma to having it.
Yeah.
As soon as that changes and normalizes and millions of people have it, we'll have so much more data and information, and that will give people comfort or increase the fear level, depending on the result. But we have a country that's ideally probably 2 months ahead of us now, China. We have the playbook on how they handled it. We have them going back to normal society. It's possible. We're going to get through it. It's just we're just not prepared. So we have to move a little bit faster. And this is where I think private corporations and the government need to actually work together and actually try to get something in. Or the private corporations say, fuck it, our government can't do anything. Apple is sitting on $300 quadrillion. Help. Amazon help. Microsoft help. Google help.
Yep.
They
yeah,
all
there
have-
might needs to. I mean, if it gets to as bad as what people like are predicting, there needs to be a private consortium of.
Where's Bill Gates? He's the virus guy.
Yeah. He's a little quiet.
Stop with all those toilets and shit you're doing. And
He's
hop on
probably
there.
actually just like understanding and
Yeah.
thinking. Because that's
probably on
what,
one of his think weeks.
it's probably.
He missed the whole thing.
Yeah.
He was like, what?
Wait, what happened?
I turned off my phone. I'm in this cabin. He's like, the world got wiped out.
Oh man.
I mean, I will say there. I mean, like, despite all the panic, some of the people that I've been reading and following closely are like, look, we're at a point where it's here, it's everywhere.
Yep.
We need to learn to live with it and take precautions and live accordingly, which is stay cleaner, avoid large gatherings, wash your hands more, and like all that stuff.
What about, did you see, speaking of influencers, YouTube's going to let creators monetize videos about Corona? So that's probably a hot ticket item.
Yeah, so what they were doing is anyone mentioning anything Corona, they were blocking it from able to collect ad revenue because they didn't want anyone capitalizing on it.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's all this informational content. Now, I mean, at this point, I'm sure every video posted by a major creator is going to address it.
Yep.
So I guess they're just letting it go. I mean, I'm sure Facebook is reacting to that information as well. They've banned ads trying to take advantage of it from a sales perspective. I don't know how YouTube is going to handle that. It's the problem is even though it's like dark and despair, there's opportunity to make money, and there are people that are going to make a lot of money in this dark time,
Yep.
and they're going to push the needle. They're going to take advantage of whatever they can to figure out how to make money.
For sure. What about this Katie Porter thing? She got the CDC director to say yes to free testing. What's that? That means it's going to start happening, or?
Katie Porter is a congresswoman that grilled the CDC head today and pretty much asked how much everything cost and why won't you give free testing for every American? Kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And he finally said on camera in front of Congress, yes, they can have it. And so it was amazing. It's what you need your politicians to do. You elect them to stand up for the people. So I think it was great. There has to be follow through now. But it was an incredible video of someone that was ultra passionate about trying to really hammer home the problem. The first problem we have right now is the fact that we can't test people.
Yep.
We don't know who to treat. So what happens when that happens? In 5 days, everyone's just going to roll up to the hospital and be like, test me. And there's going to be 10 million people standing in line to get tested. And then our healthcare system is going to crumble. Yep. So we need to test people in an efficient way.
So I don't get like how irresponsible of a human being you have to be, like old white Republicans who are the most likely to have the worst consequences of something like this. Mm-hmm. Mitch McConnell said it's an ideological wish list to give corona-infected workers paid sick leave. He's also taking a 3-day weekend instead of like working in Congress. He's the Senate Majority Leader. He can drive a lot of these initiatives and make it a priority. Like, he's old. He's likely,
That's why he's getting the fuck out of town.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about the people. He's just a power-hungry, money-hungry old prick.
Yeah. That seems pretty accurate.
Yeah.
It's just sad. Like, I mean, I know bipartisan politics are the worst, but like, dude, people are going to die.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that that's kind of like what Dee was saying earlier, where like what you were saying. We joke about like how crazy this administration is, and not only Trump, but all the people around him. But he hasn't really had one crisis to really deal with.
Right.
Like nothing like this. This is the worst possibly in multiple decades. I think you're just seeing the truth that,
Yeah, they just don't care.
No. It's very power hungry. They're worried about themselves.
And even today, when the Fed said they were going to interject $1.5 trillion into the economy, the stock market bounced for like 4 minutes and then continued on its catastrophic decline.
What is so obvious is this isn't solved by extra money to companies, because if people are staying home, there's no consumption.
Yeah. So what are the cuts? Like, I heard a potential income tax cut, potential small business money, delay in tax deadline. Where are we at with that stuff?
So the couple things that Trump mentioned yesterday was that he was administering the SBA, the Small Business Administration, to allocate $50 billion in loans to businesses affected by coronavirus. Obviously, within 4 seconds, I was on that site trying to understand. There's not a lot of information yet, and I think it'll be state by state on how it gets allocated, but it looks like you can get up to $2 million for small businesses. Who knows all the caveats, and you got to own real estate. They'll make it impossible to get the fucking loan. I already know that. So then I don't think they're going to be helping any of us. They want to delay the April 15th tax deadline. Trump also talked about the payroll tax cut. That has to go through Congress to get that. I think based on what we see the next week or two, we'll see how that actually plays out. Because if everyone's kind of told to stay home, businesses are just going to get stopped. So they're going to have to help out in that capacity. And then one of the things Bernie Sanders has been screaming is about health care for those people infected, because not all of those people have health insurance. So how do we treat all those people? There are so many serious issues that need to be dealt with, and dealt with extremely quickly. So it's like you need our best and brightest trying to figure out how to really allocate all these resources. Because to be honest, I don't know how we could solve all these problems. That's the scary part. There's too many problems happening at once.
Yep, I agree. That's the part that feels so crazy. Is like, it feels like stock market crash like 2008-ish, but then you throw on like the health risk of it all, and it just feels like there's so many cascading effects that feel impossible to tackle.
Yeah, and I think one thing that happened post 9/11 was the stock market was closed for a period of time. I forget how long. The way the market's going, until we actually understand the health risk, I don't see a reason not to pause the market, stop letting people watch their life retirement savings go to zero, and focus on health and how to figure out how to self-quarantine if you were exposed, how to stop travel, stop worrying about basic needs, and stop worrying about health, because this is way bigger than Apple being down 10%.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, well, hey, it seems like a good place to break. Check our lung capacity.
Yeah.
And
Everyone hold your breath for 10 seconds.
and run some ads, okay? So everyone, this is what I want everyone to do. Through this whole ad break, hold your breath.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, we're back. Wow, that was what, 7 minutes? Okay, let's talk about this oil issue. So on top of all of this stuff, the Saudi crown prince pulled his little oil trickery move, which then cratered the price of oil. What's the update on that?
So here's the opportunistic people in this chaos.
Yep.
MBS, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, had kind of teamed up with Russia to keep oil prices high, so Saudi Aramco could go public in a healthy oil market. Apparently, that partnership went south, and he was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to bury everybody.
Yep.
This to me is the ultimate, the biggest power move of this whole crisis is what he did. He just gave an enormous amount of power to his country. And, you know, you can argue whether it's right or wrong or who's going to get impacted. But I was just impressed that, like, he took advantage of a time when, like, and I feel like there was back channeling with America because low oil prices also help our country too. So it was definitely, like, to me, a very strong political move on his part, because I'm sure American energy sector is like, great, we have now low gas prices, because that's essentially an injection into our economy, because people are spending so much less on gas.
Yeah.
So it really, really, this should be a movie.
Unfortunately, with MBS, he acts pretty recklessly, as we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
So we don't know how well thought out this is, and has he really thought about the long-term ramifications? If it's just a screw his buddy Vladimir Putin for a short period of time, is it that? Like, is he trying to squeeze out other oil producers? Like,
oh, it's definitely.
I just don't have. I mean, he also just jailed his uncle last week. Like, is he really thinking clearly?
He's
a
very
good guy.
But you can't. He's being opportunistic.
That's for damn sure. Okay, well, there's a little update. And then what's this? Just little side news. Is it Modell's?
Yeah.
Sporting goods store filed for Chapter 11, closing all their doors.
My thought, I talked to someone in retail today, a really big player, and he was saying, what a great time to shut your company down.
Yeah.
Because if you were going down the shitter anyways, now you get to blame coronavirus for your failure and just walk away. Especially if you're like a CEO that's made a bunch of money and you're like, I don't want to deal with this shit.
Yep.
So Modell's is obviously not that, but it's just this long time sporting good store that finally called it quits. It had 153 stores. It's completely gone now. They liquidated. They start liquidating stores on Friday. And it's an interesting timing to shut your door. I think in the next 30 to 60 days, you're going to see a bunch of people just say, fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah.
And maybe you even get a bailout or some sort of reprieve from the judge, because they're like, most local judges are idiots and they don't know the difference.
Squeeze in some of these bailout packages. That's what's really going to be challenging, is when the bailout packages
start
come
getting
out.
handed out.
They're coming.
Yeah.
And who is deciding who gets one?
Yeah.
Who's been taking care of their local congressman?
And it's like, anyone who CEO said something negative about the Trump administration is
Yeah.
not going to get one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Right.
want to be clear. Like all that stuff we said, you know, like we weren't really. We
just want to make America great again.
Yeah.
Yeah, MAGA.
No, keep America great.
No, keep
He's
America
already
great.
made it
He's
great.
made it great.
Oh yeah, well, I might want to recheck
Keep America
that.
alive.
Yeah, I might want to recheck that. Okay, and then did you guys see that in the opposite of that type of news, Pepsi is going to buy Rockstar Energy for $3.8 billion.
Man, shout out to Rockstar. Is his name Russ, the
Yep.
founder?
Yep.
What great timing.
I mean, this
Literally
guy
the
just-
day the world falls apart, this guy sells his business for $3.85 billion.
Insane.
Insane. Congratulations. Great freaking timing.
Great timing.
You can't, I just can't, there's nothing else to say. Like, I didn't even know people are sucking down energy drinks like this still.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think
It's a huge
Wait,
thing.
is
Still.
the Rockstar founder? He's out in the streets, right?
Oh, yeah.
I've been to a Dodger game, like sitting next to him at dugout.
Oh, yeah, he's out partying.
He's kind of young,
Yeah, he's definitely young.
red hair, right?
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, he's
Oh
out.
yeah, he's out.
He's out here in the mix.
He's probably the richest ginger in the world.
Whoa.
I mean, it's not you.
Nope.
Might be.
Not for Dan. I thought about it for a second. Nowhere near.
He could be.
Man, good for him.
So he's
Yeah.
fairly young. He's been balling forever.
Yeah.
And now he's got 3
I,
points.
mean, I feel like it'd almost be kind of awkward. You know, like the world's burning, everyone's panicking, and you're like, well,
I
the
just-
wire went through. All right, I'm going to get on a boat somewhere.
Man, I mean, that's the greatest timing of.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So
okay.
it's based in Vegas?
I mean, probably for tax reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's out here.
Because there's a Rockstar office
Yeah.
in our pediatrician's office.
Yeah.
He lives
exactly.
out here.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? This is one that, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too, whatever the word is, too simply here, but Slack shares are plunging. I mean, everything's plunging, but on a bad forecast for their first quarter. I kind of thought Slack, you know, and all this work from home stuff, Slack would just be through the roof.
So interesting. They missed on revenue, which is whatever. They missed on guidance. You're telling me that they couldn't figure out how to make this work? This must be the most poorly run company on earth.
I wonder.
This is literally how you can take advantage in your business. You should be aggressively marketing your products and getting out there. How did you? I don't even understand that. The guidance is poor. I get that companies are spending less money, but you should be able to position this as a new way of work.
Yeah.
And they blew it.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, we actually talked about this last night. We were eating dinner, and I was like, they have to be able to take advantage of this. It's only like a handful of companies that are kind of
Zoom and
Zoom,
Slack
Slack.
and like, whatever.
they're just immune to this whole like. In reality, is this should. They should be able to accelerate the number of paying customers because this is the new way of the world for the next 10 months.
Yeah, I don't get it at all. What's funny is when it popped up on my Robinhood, I misread it that they were up 20%. And I was like, wow, of course.
I mean, this company just got clobbered in the last week and then got the death blow today.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But I also think separate to them not being able to figure this out, which is shocking because that's been the story for the last 3 weeks that these are the companies that are going to benefit. Everyone's trying to figure out 90% of people are fucked. Who's actually going to be able to figure it out? Everyone thought Slack, Zoom, whatever.
Yeah.
I think the other real thing is whoever reports earnings is going to get creamed.
Yes.
For the next 60 days. Because earnings and guidance are going to be shocking.
Yeah.
Like
Especially
right now,
for
the
consumer.
markets are only reflecting fear. Let's be
Yeah,
clear.
yeah.
They haven't reflected real earnings decline and real guidance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. All right, and how about this? Last piece of news. Amazon is buying Lord & Taylor for $1.5 billion.
Can't stop Jeffy.
This
Jeff,
guy is
man,
still
Jeff.
literally
Jeff's
he's
not in
selling
a bunker.
He's selling $1 billion of masks a day, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'll go buy a building. I'll go buy a 660,000 square foot Fifth Avenue landmark, 11 stories. No big deal. He's gonna make that his obviously like some epic headquarters / distribution center in Manhattan. Is that what he's gonna do? Grocery store. What is he gonna do?
I'm just
Is that
It's
a
gonna
home
be
for
so-
Lauren
timing-
Sanchez?
Oh.
So it's actually interesting. So Pepsi and Amazon, two incredible companies. It's like evidence that when you have a long-term vision, because Pepsi's not getting wiped out regardless of what happens in the next 90 days.
Yeah.
Same with Amazon. They have a long-term vision and they keep executing on it. Sure, that 1.5 could have been 1.3 in 90 days, but they don't care. They're like, we want this building, we're going to buy it, and we know long-term it's going to pay off dividends. So you're going to see big companies, big healthy companies with large cash on their balance sheets just continue to execute because they're not at like daily risk of going out of business like other companies, and they're just going to keep going on, and they're like, yeah, whatever, we may have overpaid 10% if you want, but we're not trying to market time. We have a long-term view of what's going to happen. So Pepsi and Amazon are paving the way.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of great opportunities. Like, this is a great time for Microsoft to put Slack out of its misery. Just buy it.
I mean, Apple has $300 billion in cash.
I mean, what are they going to buy?
I mean, they can do whatever they want.
Anything they want. Hopefully respirators.
Yeah.
That'd be
I'll
nice.
start with masks.
Yeah, jeez. Okay, some toilet paper. Even.
Yeah.
Does anyone know why toilet paper is the item?
A lot of people taking shits.
Everyone's shitting?
So, can I tell you what I think the real reason is?
Yeah.
I think it's so simple. I think 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, there was a video of a long line at Costco.
Yeah.
When you see that line, what do? You immediately go to Costco, grocery store. I need to stock up too.
Yeah.
You start watching those videos, you see people piling up. What are they piling up? Water, toilet paper. So you're like, fuck it. I think it's just groupthink. Like, you see someone else doing it, you just go do it.
But what's so weird is I went last night to Ralph's. And I mean, yeah, like there was a good amount of people there and like things were low, but like everything else in the store was there except toilet paper.
Yeah.
It's just like, that just is the item that everyone thinks when they say stocking up, toilet paper?
That's
who's shitting that
That's
much?
a non-perishable
I'm like,
item.
right. And I mean,
There's
not to like be kind of disgusting, you can survive if the world ended without
take
toilet
a shower,
paper.
you know,
Take a
if
shit
you
in
got
shower.
to.
If you got water bottles,
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
your water.
By the
mean,
way,
for
in India,
real.
there's no fucking toilet paper in
Yeah.
most of the country still.
I don't get it. It's so weird because the most obvious things were there. And like obviously Purell wasn't, but like hand soap,
Yeah.
like all of these obvious things, like canned goods were all fine. Water was there.
Yeah.
Toilet paper, empty.
People are dumb.
It's so
Just dumb.
weird.
People are just dumb.
Dumb.
If
dumb.
Pete can realize that, being in LA for 3 months,
Yeah.
See what the group chat
the
crew
group
will
chat
do
has
for
really
you?
changed your life.
It really will put you, because before he moved to LA, he would have had an apartment full of toilet paper.
Yeah.
If Pete was
Panic
still
City,
in Wisconsin,
Yeah.
he would have been like, fuck that corona, we're going to Chicago, boys,
Oh, that's
get in
for
the
sure.
car.
Yeah, well, we would have been.
That's for sure.
We'd have been all up in Chicago.
Okay. Dee, what's up? You got a fitness challenge coming?
So I was thinking about it.
Trying to get
and
people's lungs healthy?
so we had a March Madness challenge for all our customers at Menlo Club. Then the March Madness got canceled.
No more madness.
So then I was like, you know what? Instead of doing nothing, let's come up with a challenge that everyone can participate with.
Okay.
And so the idea is very simple. We're going to start a fitness challenge starting Friday, March 13th. And for 30 days, we're going to do push-ups and sit-ups. We're going to start with 10 push-ups and 10 sit-ups a day. We're going to do it till the end of the month where we get to 40 push-ups and 40 sit-ups a day. And Anand shared an article with me saying that men who can do 40 push-ups have 90% less risk.
96% less risk of cardiovascular disease.
Oh, yeah, I remember you saying that.
40 straight push-ups. Get
Oh, yeah,
down.
I'm good.
So now we're all going to be home. We're all going to be quarantined soon. So I thought of a challenge that everyone can participate, men, women. All you have to do is honor code, keep track, post videos of you
Just
doing
get
it.
to 40.
And
Yeah.
I'll post it all the details. And then at the end, send me your email, your size, your address to run@themenlohouse.com. We'll send you a free Menlo Fitness Challenge. I Survived Corona t-shirt.
Wow. That's good.
I survived Corona and all I got was this fucking t-shirt.
All I got was 40 push-ups and a stupid t-shirt. And
a healthy heart.
And then like April's the worst month yet. And you're walking around in an I Survived shirt. That's good. Okay, good. Well, good. You're really good at that, and I like that you're encouraging people to live.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time to To end the week,
Yeah.
everyone's favorite segment, winners, losers content. We got a lot of winners and losers this week. Well, we got a lot more losers than winners.
Yeah.
And we have, I'm sure people could really use some content recommendations because everyone's facing down some work from home or quarantine situation.
Yes.
So, Dee, who's the biggest winner?
My winner is Russ. Rockstar Russ.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant Russ the rapper. I was like, what did he do?
No.
Wait, did you know him during your Fantasy Factory days?
Which guy?
I have been around him.
You sound Rockstar Russ.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been around him. I didn't know him.
Got it.
Like,
Because
no.
I figured you guys ran in the same.
But they were
circles.
Monster.
Ah,
Competition.
rivals.
We were Monster. We were Red Bull and Monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, by the way, fuck those guys.
But I mean, I just love the timing of it.
It's insane.
Like literally panic, people's lives are falling apart. This guy sells his business for $3.8 billion. Hell yeah.
I mean, what do you even do? You can't even celebrate with your friends.
Yeah, you can't.
You literally, you just have to quietly.
I'm inviting a couple girls over.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Yeah. Gosh. Okay. Well, good for him. Anand?
My winner of the week is, not to beat a dead horse, South Korea.
Just because they handled this
They
situation.
just handled it
Yep.
so efficiently. They have leveled off cases, like in Seoul, Korea, which is the most dense city in Korea.
Yep.
There's only 200 new cases.
Yep.
They've ramped up from 10,000 to 20,000 cases a day,
Yep.
and they just
Being
showed
tested.
what's that?
Being tested.
Being tested. Sorry,
Yeah, it's okay.
sorry, I misspoke. But they show with like proper leadership, proper planning,
Yep.
transparency of data, you can actually solve this. So while we're here panicking, and now people who didn't believe it was real a week ago think like the world's ending.
Yeah.
Like if we just had proper leadership, we can actually calm the fears, treat the patients that need to be treated,
Yep.
and you can handle this. And yeah, I know unfortunately people are going to die of this, but people can also live and survive through this if we have proper testing and care. And I was told earlier today that there's like a tent outside of Cedars-Sinai's emergency room down the street.
Jeez.
Just like trying to, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure it's a lot of people that don't have it, that think they have it, that are just running into the emergency room.
Yeah. I mean, think about the number of that's happening. Think
Right.
about the people with like the cold and the flu that are like panicking and filling up hospitals.
Yeah. Like there was a call to everyone, go get your flu shot so that you don't get the flu and
Yeah.
mistakenly think you have corona and clog up the healthcare system.
Yeah. That's brutal. Okay. I gotta say, if I was feeling sick, I would be scared to go get tested because I feel like there'd be other people who do have it
Yeah.
getting tested right next to you.
I need
Right.
a home test.
Yeah.
Where's Elizabeth Holmes at when you need her?
Come on, Elizabeth, prick my finger.
Wonder where she is.
If only we knew. My winner of the week is group chat.
Oh.
And the reason why is because our breaking news, amazing frontline reporting of the coronavirus has given us a record week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So listen, we're here through the tragedy. I think, unless one of us gets it, we'll all three be here
Yeah.
through the whole tragedy.
Or one of us will come in a hazmat suit.
Yeah, whatever. We'll get one of those bubbles that my dad sent me. But yeah, it's people are liking it. So I was kind of worried that Corona reporting would be too heavy, but it's really the only thing worth talking about right now, and it's people like it. So thank you guys for listening, and thank you us for being winners.
Yeah. Big winners.
Okay, who's the losers now? You can only choose 10.
My biggest loser is Donald Trump.
Yeah,
He fucking blew it.
yeah,
I was hoping, as much as I dislike him, there's always a part of me that was like, man, I hope he comes through and acts presidential and just proves everyone wrong.
Yeah, because we don't have fucking people dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now
We have like humanity.
And now it's just so disappointing that we're at this point. And unfortunately, the only people that are going to suffer are us. And his own constituents that actually voted for him are probably going to be devastated the most. Between the economic crisis that's going to happen,
Yep.
between the elderly that is going to get infected and unfortunately die, he's a big fat loser.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
obvious one. I'm just
that's
going to take it to, a different angle because there's so many losers in this.
yep,
It's, for me as a big sports fan, I'm a big loser.
yeah.
The Lakers were balling. The NBA is getting into the most exciting time of the year.
Yeah.
March Madness was about to start.
Yeah,
We're about to enter the NBA playoffs. Major League Baseball is about to start. And it's all canceled.
Yeah.
So sports fans, we're all losers.
You know,
true.
speaking of that, been tracking the company that bought Barstool,
The gaming, Pennsylvania gaming or whatever.
down 50%.
Hope it wasn't a stock deal.
It was cash and stock.
That 100 million for Dave's not 100 million anymore.
He posted just his net worth declining. Like he said, it said net worth 100 million, and then he crossed it out and posted 90 million.
Well, sports gambling is non-existent for the next 3 months.
Yeah. So I mean, this business. If you believe in Barstool Sports, you should take a look at Penn National Gaming because it's just been clobbered.
Once the leagues open back up, you got to buy these stocks,
Yeah, instantly.
right? Because gambling, I mean, I might gamble 10x my normal bet
Just to get,
just
you
to get
the
my
rush.
juice back.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Mine is, I agree on Trump. I want to give a double up because I did this a month or so ago. I want to give a loser again to China's leadership because I think, look, Trump is messing up. I think a lot of countries are messing up. I think this all starts with China's stupid leadership style and their inability to be transparent or admit wrongdoing.
Mm-hmm.
And really, like, this entire thing could have been stopped much earlier, but it went rampant inside their own country because they refused to report it up the leadership chain. And
I agree. I think
yeah.
that's actually a great person who's a loser, and I think we as a country need to band together with all the other countries and really punish China for this.
Absolutely.
They need
but
to-
they won't. Why aren't there global sanctions against China?
Like,
I think everyone's just too scared to add
too big to fail kind of
or
thing.
just add to like everything going on already.
And the conspiracy theory that the virus was created there is like, I mean,
like meeting in a lab.
do we really think? Yeah, and you know, I'm sure you've
That's
read the
stupid.
story of there was the
Bioweapons.
the facility in Wuhan.
Yeah.
And and President Xi did a tour of Wuhan this week.
Yep.
It's kind of like the victory lap.
yeah.
It's like when you win a Super Bowl,
Yeah.
you get to come to the White House, you create a bioweapon, I come to Wuhan.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man, Charles Barkley says he's sick and he's self-quarantining right now, waiting results from the coronavirus test.
So if you're rich and famous, you get a test immediately.
Yes.
Immediately. Sniffly nose.
Just be rich, guys.
Russ is getting as many tests as he wants.
Yeah. Russ is just have someone just testing him constantly.
Yeah.
You coughed? Here's a test.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? He's probably like having girls over and
Yeah.
like, all right, tests are outside.
Yeah.
And you get to come in.
You test clear, you get to walk into my house.
Yeah. Well, you have it. We have a cure over on the left, and then you can come in.
I mean, think about it. The NBA also All-Star Weekend, what was that, 3 weeks ago?
Oh yeah.
Everyone was just partying in Chicago in closed quarters.
Okay. Anand, wait, what are we on?
Content.
Jeez, sorry guys, I was lost in Russ's billions in my mind. I was literally running scenarios of what's going on at Russ's house.
Some wild shit.
This weekend. Okay, Dee, what is your content recommendation while we're stuck in quarantine?
So I don't know if you guys have noticed in Netflix now, it says top 10 in the US today. There's a
Yeah.
ranking now.
That's really cool.
So that helps me decide what I want to watch because I like to watch what everyone else is watching.
Yep, I agree.
Number one show in America today, On My Block.
What the hell is that?
In a rough inner city Los Angeles neighborhood, four smart, funny, and streetwise teens find their lifelong friendship tested as they begin high school. That is the number one show in America.
That seems fake. That's why I don't trust Netflix.
No, why? It's like a high school gang show. That's definitely what kids are watching.
Did you watch it or that's what you're watching this weekend?
I'm watching that this weekend
Yeah.
for sure.
Tell me how it is. Actually, I don't trust you. Never mind.
Why?
Because you thought you just watched a
Kevin
new
Hart.
film with Kevin Hart and Mark Wahlberg. And by the way, I watched the trailer last night, and that guy looks nothing like Kevin Hart.
So there's the billboard of it above, right near where I live.
Yep.
So I see it all the time when I'm walking Dom. I was like, oh, Kevin Hart, Mark Wahlberg. My eyes must be going to shit.
Yep. Yeah. Or you're racist.
Yeah, or maybe that.
You just see a black funny person and they're Kevin Hart. Anand, you got any recs for us?
Yeah, it's us, group chat.
Okay. I like it.
All right.
I mean, we were talking about the coronavirus from the beginning.
Yeah, that's true.
While most people were minimizing it as a joke, we were identifying that there are serious things going on in the world, and we identified it early, tried to spread as much information as we could possibly research and tell our listeners, and I think we've done a great job of bringing it to the people's attention that probably weren't thinking about it.
Yep.
And now it's obviously on everyone's mind. And I don't know. I thought we've done an objectively great job of covering this.
I
and
agree.
we had spirited debate on things.
We sure did.
And it's real. It's here. And now we have to live with it. And everyone, let's stay safe and move on.
And keep listening to the group chat.
Yeah,
There we go.
Find
steer
people.
We'll also steer you right out of this thing.
exactly.
So when we think, it's time to maybe put some money back in the stock market or whatever, we'll tell you.
It's not now.
Not for quite a while. Okay, mine is also Netflix. There is a show on Netflix that I would have never in a million years thought to watch called Cheer. And it is about competitive cheerleaders.
Wow.
And
Wow.
it is incredible.
It seems a little creepy for you to watch it.
Listen, man, things
it high
get
school
weird when
cheerleaders
you're
or
stuck
what?
at home.
High
okay?
school or college?
College. Have you watched Last Chance U?
Yeah, I love it.
It's essentially Last Chance U,
Okay.
but for competitive cheerleading. So they're from this the college is this junior college in small town Texas. A lot of the kids are, have gotten trouble and stuff like that. This is the ultimate school that you just want to go to because they win the national championship every single year,
wow.
more wins than anyone else. And like cheerleading is so gnarly. It's the stuff where they're like throwing people way up in the air.
Yeah.
And there's girls like getting concussions and breaking. One girl dislocated her elbow, like just wild shit. And then they build it all the way up to going to the national championship. And it's like this super anxious moment of like, are they gonna do it?
You don't just
Whatever.
Google
I
and
mean,
just
I
see if they
enjoyed
want
it.
it.
No, come on, I want
I
the
enjoyed
experience.
Bring It On. Is
I
it
love
similar?
Bring It On.
Yes, it's like the real Bring It On.
Okay.
Wow.
None of that fancy blonde girl shit.
Well, didn't Gabriella Union
Yeah, there was the
squad?
hood school
Yeah.
too. They were real. So anyway, yeah, but it's something that I would never think of watching, and I watched it and I loved it. So check it out.
Okay.
Also, a book. I have a book recommendation.
Oh, here we go again.
I might actually read a book.
Oh my
If I
God.
can't go out,
Bullshit.
I'm stocked up on books.
give me
just in
one
case.
book. Give me a recommendation.
Perfect one. Ride of a Lifetime, the Bob Iger book.
Oh, yeah.
See what it was like right before he got out
Yeah.
from Corona.
Yeah, it was a great ride. He just sailed right out
He
of
just
here.
sailed right out of it. We
He's
went to
probably
about
literally on a boat somewhere.
a
Keep
great
me away from
escape.
these creeps.
No, he's probably in his like $50 million house in Beverly Hills.
yeah, with just doctors on staff.
He's with Russ.
Him and Russ are chilling. Okay, that's all we got. So guys, stay safe.
We've been ignoring the Pizza and Idiot segment
What day is that supposed to be?
today,
Really?
Fridays.
Oh shit! I don't know why it's-
Ironically, you're actually not an idiot today.
yeah, you deserve.
No,
want-
if you wanna
how
make
about
an ass
Pizza
out of yourself-
Genius? Let's have a Pizza Genius special episode today.
I mean, everybody keeps asking about the stocks.
They're going down.
So no, but like, should they be throwing money in it? Not. They want all your advice. So like,
No.
for the people,
Retail Joe needs to stay the fuck out right now. We have no sense and no clarity. If you are a super long-term investor, like I was talking with Anand about this, a guy like Warren Buffett who sits on companies for like 40 years is probably buying stuff on these types of dips because he's like, I'm going to hold this for 25 years. It doesn't even matter because over a long term,
Yeah, unless it's going to zero, you're probably fine. Like, time. I mean, like, look, I think what Dee's point is the really long-term investors with large pools of capital can afford to put money in on every dip. So they probably put money in last week, put more money in this week, and the reality is, no one can time the market. It's impossible. And if anyone tells you differently, they're lying. But I think we have a lot more pain to come before we have a bottom. And my advice would be, if you're sitting on cash and you're just deciding when to like go back in the market, wait. If you miss a few rallies, fine.
Yeah.
Don't have your first taste like having 30% of your money disappear in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be patient.
cool.
I know
Don't
you're
try to
sitting
get
on
rich
I know I'm
overnight.
sitting on a lot of.
I know
cash
you're sitting on a lot of that
Very liquid.
ginger millions.
Yeah. The gingers all came up this week.
Yeah.
So
There's a
you're-
ginger.
you're the
Russ is
redhead.
going to be the Andrew Yang for gingers.
Yeah.
Every ginger gets $2,000.
I feel like,
Right.
like, you know how, like, gosh, I'm trying to think of an example. Well, whatever. The point is, when one ginger wins, I feel like they all get a little emboldened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like one of us made it. Okay, that's it. That's all we got. If you still got any money left and you want to advertise on the show, hit us up. Go to group-jet.com/advertise. We're going to start reading our listeners' advertisements. Subscribe to our newsletter, group-chat.com. Hit us up on Instagram for some incredible doomsday memes
Yeah.
and coverage. Corona memes. Pete, you're doing a great job. At Group Chat Pod. We'll be back on Monday, guys.
Can I say one thing?
Please. Say
Even though
whatever
we
you
make light of this,
Yeah.
it is a serious thing. I post a
Oh,
lot of
look at
memes
you.
all
Oh,
day long.
wow.
No.
Wow.
But I think I was giving people the wrong direction because I'm just posting memes, like just funny memes about this. It's actually serious. But like laugh. But
I mean, I
Wash your
think our
fucking hands.
podcast is pretty serious.
Yeah. I've hardly even laughed this episode. Okay, well, that's all we got, guys. Stay safe, wear a mask, especially if you're one of our older listeners. Take 0 chances. Bye-bye.